So what I think is fantastic about this scene is it teaches us about resonance and wavelength and power dynamics and also psychopathy. Um, what has happened is these three women are going to advocate in this prisoner of war camp in Sumatra. It's a true story, World War II. They're trying to advocate for their friend who is going to be executed for defending. She was essentially defending herself against being attacked, and it was seen as breaking the rules. So her punishment is severe. These friends have gone in to the captain, the head of the camp that they're held in, to appeal for her, to advocate for her, to try and free her. And what's interesting is the three different characters, so Kate Blanchett, the Dutch nun, and the missionary with the glasses at the end, each of them take a different approach, which I think is how we can often feel with, people who aren't hearing us and in situations where it might even be dangerous. Kate Blanchett's approach is to lead with emotions and lead with sharing, trying to appeal to empathy. And it doesn't touch him one bit. In fact, he almost seems shocked and exasperated and kind of irritated by her. And I'm moved by, and I'm sure you're moved by her expressing that appeal, that injustice, that rage, that where is your empathy? Why are you doing this? So she was basically expressing her truth, and it did not touch him one bit. The next approach was the Dutch nun, and she tried to appeal to morality. Is he moved by morality? And he was also not touched by that and is kind of repeating himself. But the wisdom the insight in the third person, the missionary with the glasses, I forget her name, I think it's Miss Drummond in the film. She has a really interesting role to play throughout the film, and kind of this meta perspective, like she very much holds this wider view, and she appealed to power, his sense of power and authority, and immediately he was touched. That's what he valued. He didn't value empathy, feelings, he didn't value morality, he valued power. And his power being questioned, he's willing to release the prisoner, their friend, in order to appear the most powerful. So in that situation, she found a way to connect to get the best outcome. And this is often what you see in family dynamics as well. Holding the role of Kate Blanchett or the Dutch nun sometimes is like repetition of a theme, and we don't really get traction. And I'm not saying that we're just appealing to power dynamics, but it's about reading the room and not harming ourselves by laying it all out, I guess, when it's just going to be so invalidated and dismissed. And another way I thought the scene is so powerful to find out and reveal values in people is we can look at it almost like a Jungian approach to a dream, that what would it feel like, where have we been in Kate Blanchett's character? Where have we been so touched by injustice? I mean, it's happening all around the world right now. And feeling like we're screaming into the void. And where have we been in the nun's position and tried to appeal to morality? Where is the moral code? What is our anchor here? And feeling like that's slipping away or it's dismissed. And then where do we see the power dynamics and we're able to sort of discern and speak wisely for the best possible outcome, the highest good to occur? Where are we also like the captain? If we're speaking about the shadow, where do we also switch off from empathy and morality and we're only interested in our own power. Like, I found that a really interesting reflection as well, and owning that aspect of self. And finally, where are we also like the translator, sort of sitting kind of in a powerless position, but feeling it all and experiencing it all and being a witness to it all, but perhaps powerless to create change. He's also being disempowered and weaving between all of them. So I hope that, the clip touched you in some way, or invited you to think about power dynamics in a different way. And yeah, have a good day.